Good evening, everybody. Dr. Ozoma Wachuku here, your cybersecurity specialist and all-round scientist. Welcome to Let's Make a Change a Step at a Time. Today's topic: what if Nigeria voted smarter, not harder? Good evening, Nigerians, my fellow Nigerians, lovers of freedom, lovers of things done the normal way. Let me ask you a serious question. What if the biggest threat to Nigeria's democracy is not who we vote for, but how we vote? Imagine a country with over 90 million registered voters. One single day. With weak infrastructure, insecurity, fear, logistics failure. And we still expect free, fair, and credible election. Does that sound realistic to you? Nah. Say yes if you think the system is broken. I'll say yes. Or no, you think one day is enough. I'll say no, it's not enough. So let us look at the Nigerians' current voting reality. Over 90 million registered voters, voting compressed into one day, limited polling units and machines, poor power supply and connectivity, insecurity, voter suppression, intimidation, logistics breakdown, late arrival of materials and so on, result coalition failures, and post-election violence. Oh yes, we are very violent as a people. This is not just inefficiency or inefficient. Let me use that word, inefficient. It is structurally dangerous, very dangerous. And no matter how much English we speak, we know the truth. We know how to fix these things. It's not that hard. So here's my question really to you that is watching this thing. Why are we forcing 90 million Nigerians to vote in one day when countries with fewer security challenges spread voting over time? Can someone answer me that? Is it tradition or fear of reform? Yes. Which is it? All right, let me throw in a proposal. And I think this will fix not only in several categories, it will fix even the trust issue that we have. What if Nigeria introduced early voting and extended voting lasting 5 to 7 days before final election day? What if? Would that work? How would it work? All right, this is my theoretical proposal to the House of Assembly, INEC, and the presidency. If you really want to show people that you are not, that the last election you truly won it, it's 90 million, that's a lot of votes to scramble for, between you and whoever is going to be challenging you. So if you get 50% of those people to vote, that's huge. That would be the biggest ever election voted in Nigeria. That will show a lot of voter confidence. And things will start turning around. This is a proposal to the government or to the incoming government. So how would it work? Voting opens 1 week early, controlled, in a controlled, phased voting by region. Voter categories like elderly, disabled, essential workers, people who will be working on the day of national election day. They are essential workers, nurses, the police that have to work. We disenfranchise these people. There has been systematic disenfranchisement going on in the Nigerian voting system, which we all know. We all know this. Our final day, in this proposal, our final day remains the national election day. Results locked, encrypted, and verified until final collation. So, this is my simple proposal. Now, there are so many what ifs out there. What if logistics? What if voting over 1 week reduced overcrowding, machine failure, and late opening of polling units? So imagine we implement it, and in insecurity. What if spreading voters' days reduces violence, intimidation, and ballot snatching? Because there's no single do or die day. Because one of the things that we keep forgetting is that national election day is a do or die day. That everybody must die that day. But because it's spread out, there's no do or die day. So no snatching will happen. Why you want snatch now? When INEC concentrated its things, the little resources they have in those pocket areas where this early voting will be done. Because this is no more, you don't, like in the state, they will have 2 or 3 centers. Everybody in the state who has time can come there and vote. Or maybe 5 centers, so to cover several, depending on the state that is big and has a lot of local governments. What if this proposal also, in my thinking, gives show INEC as a serious organization that is learning and fixing its mistakes? What if early voting allowed INEC to identify vulnerabilities early, fix failures, and secure final voting days? So all those things like, machine failed, it doesn't work, it's glitch, this, that, you know what it is? We fix it. As we are going from region to region, we're encountering issues, we're proactively fixing them. So on the final voting day, they will be smooth. By that time, person we don't lose. There's nothing else to do. And the final thing this intends to do is the what if question on trust. What if Nigerians trusted elections again? Because the system finally respected their time, safety, and dignity. Yup. Please drop your thoughts. Let me know. I'm going to be posting this on my social media handles, and I hope that I get people to talk about it. Now, let me address the biggest fears, like the government and other people who might fear this thing might not work. Let's be honest, really. Rigging already happens in one-day election. We know that. Rigging already happens in one-day election. The issue is not duration. It's controls. Let me explain it for a minute. Tamper evident ballot custody. You can't tamper with any ballot in custody. Any ballot in custody that is tampered is rejected. There will be a secure result storage. Hey, some people will be laughing at me. Which secure? They go hack up. They go do this. They go do that. But at least let's have that. There'll be transparent audit trails. So people, you go in. I'm not talking about electronic internet voting here. I'm talking about physical voting where we move machines from place to place. So let people know understand when I talk about audit trail and all those things. No. So there are audit trails of when it's sealed, when you go back and unseal it, it is recorded, no matter how you do it. Observe access throughout the voting window. Now, somebody might say, what about insecurity? Yeah, the bombs are going off now. And terrorism. Some might ask that question, really. In fact, one-day voting is a security nightmare. We know that. We have series of elections to draw inference from. A whole lot of elections that has been, unreasonably a nightmare because you did it on one day and everybody can vote. Look at the number of people every year that ends up voting. When the people are over, it's not even up to max most of the time, 40 or more than 60% of people vote. All right, so let us look at it globally. Let us tie Nigeria's issue to a global phase. So, with rising global tensions and recent geopolitical attacks, no serious democracy puts all its electoral risk in one day. None. Nigeria needs to show that this democracy is serious. In the faces of all these people that call you a disgraced nation, they want to see serious things. You cannot do your election for 90 million people with weak infrastructure, weak security, weak everything on one day. It doesn't make sense at all. Why does this matter to the political leadership exactly? This is not about one party. This is not about tribe or religion. This is about Nigeria surviving as a functional democracy. If we keep forcing a broken system, we will keep producing contested outcomes. It is very simple. And divided citizens. The more divided our citizens, and we wonder why people are calling for separation, separating Nigeria, calling for their own nation and all that. You can't continue to have this. You are continuously building this into the psyche of the people, and they want you to get to the point of no return, where you cannot return. Everybody has decided to go their paths. There should be a national dialogue on this. And I'm serious about it. I'm not saying I have all the answers here. I am saying Nigerians must start asking better questions. This is a call to INEC. INEC must study extended voting periods and policy. They have to, I can write them the policy if they want. They must study extended policies. Our National Assembly must debate electoral reform, not the ones you just say we've agreed to transmit. These things it's not serious. You guys are not doing this is not serious at all. Study it. Civil societies must push this conversation. You got to push this conversation. Young Nigerians must demand systems that work. For me, as one of those young Nigerians who's a promising leader tomorrow or follower, I believe leadership is not about shouting. It's about designing systems that work for the people. If Nigeria is serious about progress, then our elections must reflect intelligence. We are very intelligent people. Planning and respect for human life. Yes, it has to. And I want to close by saying this. Democracy is not measured by how fast we vote. It is measured by how fairly every voice is counted. It's not how fast, how many people voted that they know. It is how fairly every voice is counted. If this conversation makes sense, please share it. If you disagree, challenge it. But please, please, please don't stay silent. We got to fix Nigeria elections. Vote Smart Nigeria, Electoral Reform Nigeria, Democracy by Design, and Nigeria Decides. These are my hashtags on this. Okay? It is a significant thing that we have to fix this particular thing in order, one, to bring trust by the citizens back on their country, and also believing that Nigeria can be better tomorrow. Because finally, a system that fears reform fears the people. Have a wonderful day. Wait for the next video.